Call Allah Yahweh by Shem Yahushua. Call Allah Yahweh by Shem Yahushua. All glory and honor to Yahweh and the name of his son Yahushua. Fisherman for Zion, back with another video. Through the spirit, the power of Yahweh by Shem Yahushua. Don't count this as a light thing to do. Give all glory and honor to Yahweh in the name of his son Yahushua. Yahweh, who the world know and call God, and in Paleo Hebrew, in the name of his son Yahushua, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus the Christ, according to the Paleo Hebrew as well. Lord willing, this will be edifying to you. Don't count this as a light thing to do. All glory and honor to the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, Yahweh, by Shem Yahushua Mashiach, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushua. I believe I titled this, Put That Wicked Lust Demon Away. The flesh is weak, but the spirit is willing. So all glory and honor to the Most High, Yahweh by Shem Yahushua. Peace and blessings to each and everybody. Lord willing, you're enduring, you're fighting to stay in the spirit, and you're forsaking the flesh and the cares of this world to the best of your ability. Peace and blessings to each and every one that is scattered across the four corners of the earth, the hope for the elect, the Israelites, the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Peace and blessings to you, as well as the nation, Yasharallah, Israel, those that know they're Israelites. Peace and blessings to you as well, the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Peace and blessings to the elders and the leaders in the nation of Israel, Yasharallah as well. Lord willing, this will be edifying to you. Let me open up with Psalms 122 real quick. Through the spirit and the power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 122, and I'm going to start at verse 1. And it reads, I was glad when they said unto me, let us go into the house of the Lord Yahweh. So, like we always bring it out, you know, we should be in the spirit of being glad in these last days. You still got many things that's going on the earth. Wickedness, you know, is getting more and more rapidly out as we wait patiently for the Lord to return. And you got more people just, you know, feel like they can just live a comfortable life and not have to examine themselves, you know. But through all whatever we deal with, whatever we got going on in our lives, we got to be glad that we're living in these times that prophecy is coming to pass, and we seeing it in front of our faces and going in and out of the scriptures. You know, we seeing wickedness rapidly exposing itself, and you know, people are confessing. You know, people are confessing that things are wicked, but they still doing it. But on top of all that, you still got to be glad, even though you vexed to be in this society, to be in captivity as an Israelite, so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You still got to be glad. Being glad that the Lord gave you the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. You know, being glad that the Lord allowed us to see another day, gave us another chance, gave us another day with grace and mercy to forsake the flesh and the cares of this world and continue to abound and wax more mightier if it's of his will. So one more time, Psalms 122 verse 1. I was glad when they said unto me, let us go into the house of the Lord. Our feet shall stand within thy gates, O Jerusalem. So, you know, we have to be glad that the Lord allows us to be able to have the mind to be, you know, able to read and pray and to fast and to think about exhorting one another, think about motivating one another, you know, whatever the Lord has put on our spirit to do, you know. So let me get this in Hebrews real quick. Hebrews chapter 3. It's the book of Hebrews chapter 3. And I'm gonna start at verse 12. Hebrews chapter 3 and verse 12. Take heed, brethren, lest there be in any of you an evil heart of unbelief in departing from the living God. Because we do serve a living power, you know, a living Yahweh, going into the understanding of he exists, a living, you know, Son of Man, understanding he who saves, Yahweh Shah, you know, not like these other guys that sleep and slumber. You know, they don't have power, they don't have might, you know, they don't have a mouth to speak, you know, just gold, you know, silver, molten images, and all of these other things and false gods that many of these heathens worship, and many of Israelites that go into the ways of Gentiles and turn from their nationality, you know, worship and bow down. You know, we serve a living power, you know. let me get there real quick in Matthew chapter 22. This is the book of Matthew chapter 22. Because, hey, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, hey, he, you know, he's not like these other gods. This is Matthew chapter 22, and I'm going to start at verse 32, and it reads, I am the God of Abraham, and the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. God is not the God of the dead, but of the living. So, you know, we know, we call upon the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, you know, we make supplications, we confess our errors and, you know, our needs, and, you know, we don't stress, we don't worry, to the best of our ability, and the Lord can make things come to pass. He can make things happen because he is a living God. So it says, you know, in departing from the living God. So I'm gonna read it one more time. Hebrews 3:12. Take heed, brethren, lest there be in any of you an evil heart of unbelief. So you don't want to have a mind to where you once believed and now you strayed away and you went into evilness, and now you start to depart. Now you start to wax worse. You know, this is the reason behind these videos, motivating and exhortating. You know, it's not just putting videos up to look at ourselves and to hear ourselves talk, and, you know, to see what somebody had to say. You know, we doing this because, for one, you know, it's the spirit of the Most High, you know, humbly, spirit of the Most High, to be able to have, you know, his servants, to be able to proclaim the words of life and to motivate and encourage one another to hold fast their faith, to continue to endure, to continue to wax more mightier than what they've been, you know, to put off those things that are weak, you know, because you may find yourself falling asleep, getting rocked back to sleep, falling in a ditch, you know, waiting for somebody to come help you and pull you up. You know, we have to continue to hold on and to continue to look towards things that really don't come from this world. It comes from the Most High. You know, verse 13, Hebrews 3:13. But exhort one another daily while it is called today, lest any of you be hardened through the deceitfulness of sin. So we have to exhort one another daily, whether it be in our own households, whether it be our spouse, our children, brothers in the congregation or another congregation, or do a video chat or do a conference call or video, whatever we have to do. We got to continue to motivate one another, because many things can happen. It's a lot of things that can happen 12 in a day, 12 hours in a night, so-called 24 hours. You know, you may feel good one minute, and next thing you know, something may go on in your life, and you may need somebody to call you. You know, you may need to open up the Bible. You may need to hear certain precepts, scriptures. You know, so we have to continue to have the word and hold that fast like a shield and a buckler. Now let me get this in 1 Corinthians. So like the title was, put that wicked lust demon away. The flesh is weak, but the spirit is willing. So, you know, lust is something that the nation of Israel is going to deal with. You know, it's not like, you know, you just stomped your toe and it's here one minute and it's gone. Lust is in many ways you can go into lust when you open up the Bible. Now it's different lust. You know, you got a righteous lust and you got a wicked lust. You know, so somebody's saying, you know, you have to be very formal and vast when you deal with certain things, because it's and we're gonna get into it, Lord willing. It's different types of lust in the Bible. But before we get into that, I want to get this real quick. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 10, and I'm gonna start at verse 12. 1 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 12, and it reads, wherefore let him that thinketh he standeth take heed lest he fall. So you might think you're standing because you can break down the Bible, you know, better than anybody around you or anybody that you know. You may think you're standing because you got money, or you got some type of status, or you have a decent memory, or you're over a congregation, or you are a man with rank or a woman with rank, whatever your mind or whatever your life is unfolding itself to you know, make itself aware of. You know, so you have to take heed, meaning you have to be aware and observing such things. You know, verse 13, First Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 13. There had no temptation taken you but such as is common to man. But God Most High is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it. So it's nothing that, the Messiah, the Son of Man, Yahweh Shah, went through that we feel like, oh man, this is something bad. Because a lot of people like to say, man, if y'all went through what I went through, man, y'all wouldn't have made it. There's always somebody that's gonna say, they went through something drastic, something drastically bad, and they feel like, they the only ones that went through that. They only went through that on the earth, not knowing that it's certain things that Christ, the Messiah, went through that nobody on this earth went through. Knowing all things and dying and having to die, and having to be created to do such things, feel certain pains, and be rejected by family members, by your own brothers and your sisters, So everything that we feel like we go through, hey, the Lord, he already done went through it. And on a higher scale, and overcame it, So a lot of us, we go through stuff, but we don't overcome it, What's the point of going through something, but you don't overcome it? You just gave up, So a lot of people, they'll go through something, and they say the hell with my potential, or the hell with my reward in the end, I don't even want to know what the end result is, I'm done. I'm finished. Hey, the Lord didn't do that, Hey, he did what he had to do, He said, Father, it is finished, So he ain't gonna allow us to go through nothing that we can't overcome, And you gotta look at this verse right here, and you gotta apply it with the understanding of the Lord knew I was strong enough to go through this. The Lord knew I was strong enough to go through a divorce. The Lord knew I was strong enough to lose a car, or to lose a house, have repossessions, go bankrupt, having to deal with multiple spirits around me. The Lord knew I was fit to be a leader, or whether you're an elder, or whether you're a mother or you're a father, or whether you have to counsel many different souls. The Lord knew that you was qualified for it. He allowed you to go through such things and to build you up for it, So reading this again, 1 Corinthians 10 and 13. There had no temptation taken you but such as common to man. So a lot of people like to say, man, you can't say, you can't tell me nothing. You don't know what I'm going through. You don't know what pain I'm feeling. Well, hold on now. The Lord put many other people around you to either counsel you or to comfort you, So you can't have that mindset and thinking you the only one on earth that feel pain or feel some type, or deal with adversity, So, hey, the Lord, he gonna put you in a position to either, help you grow, help you get stronger, or hey, either you're gonna cast away, all your resources, and then you're gonna walk the rest of your 10 years of life, or 20 years of life, or 2 years of life that you have left with your head down, and you just, putting a rock over your head and just knocking yourself out. You have to look at things like, okay, this is an opportunity for growth, and that's the same way you got to look at it with lust, because there's many different lusts. Lust just goes into desire. You can desire wickedness, or you can desire righteousness. So whatever you're going through, the Lord allow you to go through such things so you can know, for one, that you gotta have hope. You gotta have hope that you can overcome such things. You gotta have hope, because like the title says, the flesh is weak, but the spirit is willing. And also says that same precept in Luke, the flesh is weak, but the spirit is ready, you know. So everything the Lord gave you and everything the Lord gives you, everything the Lord gave me and everything that the Lord continues to give me, you know, he allows to learn from it and to grow from it, or to be able to, you know, have experiences to where we might be able to use that experience to help somebody else or for a life lesson. So reading this one more time, and then we're going to move on. 1 Corinthians 10 and 13. There had no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man. But Most High God is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it. You see that? So you may be dealing with something that you feel like you can't get past. You can't grow from it. You know, you won't never be able to have a normal life. You know, the Lord is going to align you up, you know, to be able to glorify his name, you know, magnify his name. Or unless you somebody that's just wicked, you know, then the Lord gonna set you up for your downfall, you know, whether you feel like you're increasing, whether you feel like you're flourishing, you know, because like the other nations, the Lord set them up, and it seems like, you know, as the Israelites, we the ones that really are at the bottom, you know, we the ones that's down bad. But the Lord set this thing up before he even created everything for a winning creation, you know. It's nothing but righteousness that's gonna come from this. The Israelites being in slavery, the Israelites not knowing their nationality, the Israelites thinking the Most High forgot about us. You know, the Israelites, you know, looking at everything in America, you know, just being blasphemy and abomination, when the Most High is literally going to destroy this place. You know, so you got to look at things, you know, for whatever the outcome is, instead of just the end all be all result. It's not the end for us. You know, it's literally for us to fight. Now let me get this in Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, because we have to be aware of things that we have in front of us. This is Sirach chapter 38 in the Apocrypha, verse 10, and it reads, leave off from sin and order thine hands aright, and cleanse thy heart from all wickedness. As we understand that sin is transgressing the law. You know, if you're new, you know, you're not aware of such things. That's 1 John chapter 3 and verse 4. You know, sin is transgressing the law. So you still got uncleanness, you still got wickedness around you, you still got things that's you know, abomination to the Most High, filthy in the eyes of the Most High. So we have to cast such things off. You know, let me get another precept. This is Sirach chapter 1. Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha chapter 1. And I'm gonna start at verse 21, and it reads, the fear of the Lord driveth away sins, and where it is present, it turneth away wrath. So fearing the Lord is respecting the Lord, honoring the Lord, you know, putting the Lord on a high pedestal and everything else beneath it, you know. So when you respect the Lord, when you honor the Lord, when you fear the Lord, it's literally going to drive away sin. You know, it's literally going to motivate you to, okay, I can't do that. You know, that's not right. You know, I don't know why I'm kind of double thinking this, but let me pray, let me read, let me get some counsel, let me get some understanding so I can figure the matter out, instead of just making a last minute decision or a quick decision, and I might regret things later. You know, so you have to, hey, the same way you respect your mom and your dad, or your spouse, or if you're a woman, your husband, or if you're a man, your wife, or a newborn child, the same way you honor such things. You don't want to, you got a newborn child, you kind of don't want to drop your child. You kind of making sure your measurements are right. If you have the if your child is on Similac, or you know, you're trying to make sure your baby latches onto the nipple to get the food, to get the milk, the colostrum, whatever it is. You know, the same way you uphold that, you got to uphold your way of life, how you're moving before the Most High. You know, because you can't just just do things because you feel like nobody's watching, you know, or you don't think nobody's listening, you know, or if that's the case, then you really don't respect the Lord, you know. So let me get this in Job real quick. I want to get this precept in Job. This is Job chapter 28. And I'm going to start at verse 28. Job 28, chapter 28, verse 28. And it reads, and unto man he said, behold, the fear of the Lord, that is wisdom, and to depart from evil is understanding. So we have to have an understanding. You know, some people, they understanding maybe way off from another person, or, you know, they may look at things a little different. You know, that's why the Lord said, like in Romans, it said, let every man be persuaded in his own mind, you know. But you have to have the mindset of learning and examining, you know, because you should be learning and growing every day. You know, you should just be at the state and the spirit of, okay, you know, I'm kind of above that, you know, that's past me, you know. You don't want to have that mindset. You don't want to have that spirit. We should be learning. We should be growing. We should be increasing, you know, so the Lord can continue to use us in his vineyard, and so we can continue to magnify the name of the Lord, you know. Now, like I said, there's many different scriptures and many different examples in the Bible that deals with lust. You know, you got a righteous lust and you got a wicked lust. Now, let me get this in Isaiah before we jump into that. This is Isaiah chapter 45. And I'm going to start at verse 7. Isaiah 45 and 7, and it reads. It's like Isaiah 45 and 7, and it reads. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. So ain't nothing on the earth that the Lord didn't have power to be able to bring to the earth or to destroy, you know. So everything, you know, that's on the earth, you know, good and bad, righteous and glorious and holy, hey, you know, the Lord, hey, has all total control, you know. So let me read this one more time. Isaiah 45 and 7. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. So the Lord, hey, you know, he allows such things to be on the earth. You know, you can't have the Christian mindset of, oh, the Lord wouldn't do that, you know, or the Lord didn't create evil, you know, because a lot of people like to say that. This is Proverbs, another precept. This is Proverbs chapter 11, and I'm going to start at verse 1, and it reads, Proverbs 11 and 1. A false balance is abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. So the Lord doesn't deal with, you know, just only righteousness, only holiness, and then no wickedness is around, you know. Anytime you get jammed up, you should have the mindset saying, okay, this is an opportunity for me to forsake my flesh. You know, this is an opportunity for me to glorify the Lord, you know. And I had a hell of a week, man. I had a hell of a week. I had all type of stuff just breaking in my house. Matter of fact, I had a hell of a month, you know. But all praise to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You know, I had, you know, such things I had to deal with family, you know. I had to deal with my children and my wife, you know, dealing with a family vacation a couple of weeks ago. Came back home, you know, just almost everything in my house was broke, you know. So of course, finances, you gotta get it fixed. You gotta get stuff fixed, and then on top of that, you know, I try to fix it myself, and then fix stuff myself, and then another thing kind of messed up, and you know, but hey, all praise to the Heavenly Father, you know. And I was literally looking at it and thinking about it. I was like, this is a way to grow. This is a way to be able to learn and to be humble. Because when you're not humble, you know, you allowing such things to kind of take control, you know, instead of you just lashing out your mind and you just, you know, not controlling your spirit, and you just raging in the wrath and things like that. So, you know, during all of the things that I had to deal with, you know, trying to get stuff fixed, stuff broke, you know, one thing messed up, then another thing messed up, and, you know, child dealing with sickness, or, you know, whatever the case is, you know, because we all go through such things in life, but we can't let that control us. You know, we have to glorify the Lord when we don't feel like it and when we feel like it, you know. So let me read this one more time. Proverbs 11:1. A false balance is abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. So you ain't just gonna have, you know, 30 days where it's just all good, you know, or is it just 24 hours where it's just all good, you know? And if you feel like well, you know, hey, I had a nice year, or I had a nice month, you know. Well, a lot of that might have been a test, you know, to see if you gonna continue to walk on eggshells, because when you think everything is right, you know, you still being examined. You know, the Lord's still watching you. The Lord's still trying you. You know, just like Job. You know, like spiritual demon Satan try to you know, have such things that go on. Or this man, he's only, according to Job the 2nd chapter, this man's only glorifying you because, you know, the things that you allow to go on in this life. You know. So if you feel like, I guarantee you, if you feel like everything is flourishing, you know, let all hell break loose, you know, and you get to a place where you're gonna kind of look back and you're gonna be thinking, man, you know, I remember when this happened, or I remember when I was at this place, or I remember when I was on this vacation, or you know. So you're gonna be thinking such things, and now what's going on in America? You know, we in captivity, you know. Let you get to a place where you're gonna be vexed, or you're gonna be think yourself. You're gonna be like, man, you know, I wonder what it was like, you know, when Solomon, you know, had all his gold and all his riches and his wealth. You know, now you going to the bank trying to get a loan, and you thinking about Solomon. You know, telling him, man, you know, Solomon didn't have to get no loan. You know, or let you see somebody get murdered, you know, you're gonna be thinking like, man, you know, these are the curses that we deal with, you know. So a lot of stuff that you go through in life, it should lead you straight to the Bible, you know, or whatever you see, you should think about it with a scripture or a precept, you know. Let you get poured over, you know. If you in the spirit, hey, you instantly gonna be thinking about the word, you know. Satan seeketh whom he may devour, you know. You're going to be thinking about Esau. You're going to be thinking about, you know, Jacob, you know, being rolled up on by Esau and his 400 men. You know, you're going to be thinking about Saul killing David. You know, you're going to be thinking about all type of stuff. If you in the spirit, you know, so, hey, whatever you go through in life, hey, the Lord, he allow you to go through that, man. You know, for whatever reason, he wants you to get yourself in a examine mode, man. You know, because if you are the elect, hey, you know, the Lord got to make sure you on point. You know, he got to make sure everything is lined up to the T. You know, your spirit, hey, you don't want to be here. You don't like being at work. You know, you don't like being around certain family members. You don't like, you know, being in a traffic jam. You know, hey, as soon as you get into traffic jam, you're gonna wish your chariot just come and take you up. You know, so the Lord kind of alters your days, your weeks, your months, your years, and your times. And you know, you kind of think you got your schedule set out, but the Lord, he gonna revamp everything. All right, this brother think he gonna be on time. I'm gonna jam him up. This sister thinks she gonna go to the feast day. Her menstrual cycle gonna come on. Or they think they're gonna have their child right. Watch, I'm gonna give them an ear infection. You know, so hey, a false balance is abomination. You know, you can't just have a glorious, holy, royal, righteous week or a month or a year. You know, it wasn't like that for the King of Kings. It wasn't like that for the Lord. You know, so you're gonna deal with something, and however you maneuver with the adversity, you know, that's gonna speak volume. That's gonna speak a lot. That's gonna speak You know, your actions pretty much way more than your words. You know, so let's go to Deuteronomy real quick so we can get this division of the righteous lust and the wicked lust. Because you got righteous lust, and we about to touch on it. This is Deuteronomy chapter 12, and I'm going to start at verse 19. Deuteronomy chapter 12 and verse 19, and it reads, take heed, Deuteronomy 12 and 19, take heed to thyself that thou forsake not the Levite as long as thou livest upon the earth, when the Lord thy God shall enlarge thy border as he hath promised thee, and thou shalt say, I will eat flesh, because thy soul longeth to eat flesh, thou mayest eat flesh, whatsoever thy soul lusted after. So when you deal with the ancient feast days, high holy days, you had certain requirements that had to be met. You know, your animals had to be without spot and blemishes, and you had to be at a specific place at a specific time frame, and you had to do things according to the law, statutes, and commandments. You know, especially when you're doing sacrifices and when you're doing offerings and tithing and things like that, giving an increase according to your stock, according to your vineyards, you know, and your wine and things like that. So when we got to a point where we went to another land, you know, and we had to sell what we had according to Numbers, you know, and Nehemiah, you know, we couldn't take all our animals, we couldn't take everything with us because it was a long journey, you know. So whenever we got to a place where the Lord chose, you know, pertaining to Passover, tabernacles, you know, and the three feasts, the Lord commanded men to, you know, show up. You know, when we got there, we ate whatever we lusted after, you know. And so when you deal with this word lust, it goes into it's a Hebrew word, avah. It goes into, you know, desire. So when you're looking at lust, you can't just automatically assume that it's just talking about sex or just talking about you know, some type of folly, you know, because you got different lusts. You know, you can lust after reading the Bible. You know, you can lust after thinking about things in the third heaven, but it's really going into desire. You know, now you got a wicked lust and you got a righteous lust, so you can't just automatically assume that one word is talking about something wicked. So let's read this one more time. Deuteronomy chapter 12 and verse 20. Deuteronomy chapter 12 and verse 20. When the Lord thy God shall enlarge thy border as he had promised thee, and thou shalt say, I will eat flesh, because thy soul longeth to eat flesh, thou mayest eat flesh, whatsoever thy soul lusted after. So that's Strong's H185. You know, you can look it up on your own. But let me get this in Proverbs real quick. Now, you got wicked lust as well. Let me get this in Proverbs chapter 21. Proverbs chapter 21, and I'm going to start at verse 10. Proverbs 21 and 10, and it reads, the soul of the wicked desire evil. You see that? So that's talking about a wicked lust. Desire is a Hebrew word also going into the understanding of desiring and lusting. It's basically the same thing. Proverbs 21 and 10 again. The soul of the wicked desireth evil. So somebody can lust after being wicked, you know, trying to figure out why this person, all they think about is folly and madness, sorcery, idolatry, all type of demonic stuff. You know, it's because their soul is lusting after evil, you know, trying to figure out, you know, the right thing to say to try to get them out of their spirit. Hey, that's just how they are. You know, that's just how their soul set up. That's just how their mind operates, you know, because they desire, they lust after being evil. So let's read this one more time. Proverbs 21 and 10. The soul of the wicked desire evil. His neighbor findeth no favor in his eyes. So a lot of times you gotta separate, you know. But you got some people, they like to stay around people because they got so-called history, you know, or we go back, you know. This is my friend from 3rd grade, or this is my cousin, you know. I don't have any family members in this city or this state. This is all I have. Hey, well, hey, you better get away from that wicked person, or you gonna become wicked, you know. Because all they desire is to do wicked, you know. They don't got no ounce of blood in their vessel to do anything righteous, you know. So they lust after doing wickedness. And you have to watch that. You have to watch the people that you hang around, because they'll mess around and try to entice you. Next thing you know, you cutting your ways and you cutting corners to be evil as well. Now let me get this in Galatians. This is Galatians chapter 6. Let's get a Greek. Galatians chapter 6. Let's get a Greek way of lust. This is Galatians chapter 6. And I'm going to start at verse 13. Galatians chapter 6 and verse 13. Now that word that we read in Deuteronomy was avah. You know, Strong's H 185. Now this is Galatians chapter 6. And I'm going to start at verse 13, and it reads, for neither, I'm going to start at verse 12, Galatians 6 and 12. As many as desire to make a fair shoot in the flesh, they constrain you to be circumcised. So our forefathers, you know, they, you know, pretty much held the law up as a standard, and, you know, they pretty much held it up like a trophy, you know, especially being circumcised, you know, especially the Pharisees and the Sadducees, you know, they kind of was rebuking people for such things as being circumcised. So it says, Galatians 6 and 12, as many as desire to make a fair share in the flesh, they constrain you to be circumcised, only lest they should suffer persecution for the cross of Christ. For neither they themselves who are circumcised keep the law, but desire to have you circumcised, that they may glory in your flesh. So there's that word desire again, which goes into lust. You know, you had certain men that was lusting after being over other men. You know, which they may not have, you know, kept the law, or may not have been as holy as they were speaking. You know, they might have been hypocritical, but they was lusting to reign over other men. You know, they was lusting to tell another person to keep the laws and to glory in their body. Just like somebody was to say, hey, you need to go back to school. You know, you need to get out of these streets. You know, you need to stop selling dope and things like that. You know, if you let you get that degree, they're gonna say, didn't I tell you? You know, and everywhere they go, they're gonna say, I told that boy to go to school, and guess what? That boy got that degree. You know, I told that girl to go to college, guess what? She got her degree. And they're gonna glory into that. And they're gonna try to say, hey, if I would have never spoke to them, they wouldn't be nothing. You know, hey, or like a high school coach, you know, they may have coached somebody, you know, they say, oh, they went to the NBA because of me, or the NFL because of me. You know, you got certain men, they like to glory and reign over other people, man. You know, hey, that's a wicked lust. You know, you trying to reign over somebody and rule over somebody in their flesh, and you're not upholding yourself. You know, trying to tell somebody, hey, stop eating pork. You know, and next thing you know, hey, you don't go according to none of the commandments that the Lord says go by. You know, so you got people, they lust after ruling over others. You know, which that goes into Galatians 3 and 13. I'm gonna read it one more time. Galatians 6 and 13. For neither they themselves who are circumcised keep the law, but desire to have you circumcised, that they may glory in your flesh. So desire goes into lust, which that goes into the law. Strong's G 2309. You know, which, like we said earlier, there's a righteous lust and there's a wicked lust, you know. But you gotta put that wicked lust away, because you can desire to get closer to the Lord. You can desire to live a holy life. You can lust after thinking about the word all day, all night. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, there's nothing wrong with lusting after trying to live a better life so you can glorify the Lord, you know. But when you start doing other things wickedly, you know, then that becomes, you know, a downfall, a stumbling block. Now, let me get this in Matthew real quick. This is Matthew chapter 26, and I'm going to start at verse 41. It reads, Matthew 26 and 41. And it reads, Matthew 26 and 41. Watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. So, Christ told us that we should watch and pray. What should we be watching for? For first off, you know, it ain't just talking about watching TV. It ain't just talking about watching Bronny James scoring getting a 30, 10, and 10. You know, it ain't just talking about watching Power. It ain't just talking about, you know, watching and seeing what's going on in the gymnasium. You know, you should be watching your spirit. You should be watching yourself first. You know, you should be seeing if you're in the faith. You should be watching to see, you know, is your household upholding the name of the Lord, the commandments, the laws, the statutes. You know, you should be watching to see if anything is going wrong in your life, if your faith is wavering, you know, if your spirit is kind of flickering, you know, your flame going out, you know, your zeal kind of withering away, then duck back into the world, you know, you done went back, you know, worse than you came, you know. So you should be watching to see if you're lusting after something wicked, you know. Are you lusting after another man's wife? You know, or if you're a sister, are you lusting after celebrities? You know, are you lusting to meet Chris Brown so you can drop 11-11 and take a picture with Chris Brown? You know, you say when you got older, when I get older, I'm take care of myself. My mama ain't never gave me nothing. My daddy never gave me nothing. I'm gonna do my own thing when I get older. You know, I'm gonna get my own money. I'm gonna be on my own. You know, you might have lusted after trying to keep up with the Jones. You know, you gotta have a new car, you know, which goes into covetous is lusting as well, you know. So a lust goes you know, a mile long, you know, times 7. So, you know, it's many covetousness, you know, wicked desires, wicked lust. You know, you can desire to have another man's wife. You know, you can look at a house and say, man, you can look at a house and don't even like your house. You know, you can look at a car and don't even acknowledge the Lord blessed you with a car. You know, you can look at another person lift weights or be in a weight room, and now you don't even like your own skin. You don't even like your own features anymore. You know, now you're not even glorifying the Lord for your eyes and your mouth, and you know, you're trying to get plastic surgery, you're trying to get Botox, putting injections all in your lips so you can covet and you can lust after Botox, fillers, injections. You know, you spending thousands of dollars at the beauty salon, spending thousands of dollars at the salon, spending thousands of dollars on makeup. You know, you're lusting, trying to look like somebody else. You don't even like your hair no more. You kind of getting wigs as a woman, you know. So, you as many ways you can lust, you know. So, the Lord said, watch and pray. You should be watching. You should be watching and seeing, you know, do you really believe? You know, why are you acting how you acting, and why are you moving how you're moving? Because it's a reason behind how you're moving and how you're acting, you know. So it's many things that we can watch and we can pray about, you know. So reading this again, Matthew chapter 26 and verse 41, and it reads, Matthew 26 and 41, watch and pray. And a lot of people, they don't like to pray. A little feeling or a thought kind of creep in. Oh man, And don't even pray about nothing, man. You just having these thoughts come up in your mind. Next thing you know, you're not moving in the spirit how you should be moving in. You kind of just getting all type of thoughts in your mind, and you're not praying about it. Saying, "Oh Lord, forgive me for that thought, Lord," because a lot of times anything you lay your eyes on, you're gonna think about something. You know, you're gonna think about something. You gonna think about something. So why are you not praying? You know, so watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. So you can be tempted and not enter into that which you were tempted of, or you can enter into that. You know, now you was tempted, you know, to smoke a blunt, and now you enter into smoking that blunt. Now you smoking that blunt and getting high, and now you can't put the blunt down. You know, or a woman might have tempted you. You know, say, hey, she might, hey, you might have asked her as a man, are you married? You know, where's your husband at? Where's your ring at? I don't see your ring. She said, oh, that, man, I left that Negro, you know. And next thing you know, hey, you getting tempted, you know. Hey, everybody get tempted, you know. Hey, Yahweh Shah, the Messiah, was tempted. Just because you tempted, that don't mean you're defeated. That don't mean you're lost. That don't mean you're not chosen. That don't mean that you're not that don't mean you're Esau. You know, that don't mean you're not Jacob anymore. Just because you tempted, that don't mean it's the end all be all. Everybody get tempted. You know, somebody gonna get tempted tonight. You know, soon as it's live, and I may get tempted, but that don't mean that we sin. Just because you got tempted, that don't mean that you sin. You know. Let me get a quick precept right quick. Let me hold this. I'm gonna come back to this and Lord willing, Matthew chapter 26. This is Matthew chapter 4, and I'm gonna start at verse 2. Matthew chapter 4 and verse 2. And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was afterward an hunger. And when the tempter came to him, he said, if thou be the Son of God Most High, command that these stones be made bread. Verse 4. But he answered and said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeded out of the mouth of God. Then the devil taketh him up into the holy city and set him on the pinnacle of the temple. So look, hey, for a clear representation and a clear example, the tempter came to Christ, you know. So why in the world do we feel like we ain't gonna get tempted? But I'm gonna jump down to verse 7. Matthew chapter 4, verse 7. Yahweh Shah said unto him, and we say Yahweh Shah, you may be new, you know, we're not aware of how many people are coming into the truth, you know. So every day is a lesson to learn. If you're not aware, there wasn't English during the time when Christ was on the earth. So we know his name to be, according to the Paleo Hebrew, Yahweh Shah, he who saves. So Matthew chapter 4, verse 7, Yahweh Shah said unto him, it is written, again, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God. So, hey, here you have the tempter came to the Lord. So what makes you think, or what makes me think that I'm not going to get tempted? Or what makes you think that you're not going to get tempted? You know, we all going to be tempted at some point, some fashion, some form, some day, week, month, hour, minute. You know, so going back to Matthew chapter 26 and verse 41, watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. So, no, hey, being in captivity, being in America, wherever you are on this face of the earth, you know some sort of evilness, and you may or may not know some sort of righteousness. So being aware of such things, let me get a precept real quick and Surah. Being aware of such things, you know, like we read earlier, the Lord allow you to have a way of escape, you know. So you can't say, well, what was I supposed to do? You know, I didn't know. I wasn't strong enough, or I didn't do this, or I didn't do that. So this is in the Apocrypha, Ecclesiasticus chapter 17 and verse 14. Sirach chapter 17 and verse 14, and it reads, and he said unto them, beware of all unrighteousness. So we have to beware of all unrighteousness. You know, it's not just only knowing Revelation, and it's not just only knowing Daniel the 7th chapter, Daniel the 11th chapter. It's not just only knowing the 12 feathers. It's not just only knowing, you know, Genesis 1, Genesis 2, Genesis 3, going in and out, understanding all of the mysteries and the similitudes, the allegories, the parables, and the riddles and the dark sayings. You got to get built up in the law, statutes, and commandments, you know. Because if you falling short and you slipping and, you know, sliding everywhere, you know, hey, you gotta learn, you know, you gotta grow. You're not gonna grow if you just being ignorant your whole life, you know. If you just ignoring the basics, if you just not even acknowledging that your foundation has cracks, you know, has holes in them, you know, got leaks, you know, potholes that you not fixing, you know, you're not gonna prosper if you don't learn, if you don't grow, you know. A lot of people, they don't like to listen, they just like to talk. So it's a very valuable, as a woman, as a man, as a child, teenager, whatever you want to say, whatever you want to classify yourself as, you know, you gotta be able to learn and grow so you can be able to know and be aware. Because the Lord said, be aware, you know. So this is reading this again. Sirach 17 and 14. And he said unto them, beware of all unrighteousness. Like if you pull up to somebody's house and it said, beware of dog, you ain't gonna just look at it and say, ah, man, I ain't worried about no dog. I ain't worried about that dog. I'm me, you know. Kind of just smoking on your chest, you know. Ain't no dog about to mess with me, you know. Hey, I'm the king around here. And the next thing you know, you know, and you getting bit, you know, and now you're bleeding. And now you got to get a rabies shot, you know. Now you done lost your leg, you know. Now you're not able to walk like a man or a woman anymore because you wasn't being aware. You know, that's what happens to a lot of people. They're not being aware of everything that's around them, and they just smoking on their chest. So I don't need nobody to tell me nothing. Can't nobody teach me nothing. You know, who that woman thinks she is? You know, I'm me. You know, that's what a lot of, they might not say that, but that's how a lot of people move. You know, hey, I had to humble down, you know, one point in time in my life. I still got to make sure I'm humble, you know, because if you just walk around, smoke your chest, can't nobody tell me nothing, you know. I'm me, you know, I do what I want. All right, the Lord gonna get up with you one day. Next thing you know, you're gonna find yourself either laying on the hospital bed or either getting buried in the grave, you know, you on somebody's t-shirt, you know, or somebody making a song about you, or, you know, hey, you better be aware. You better learn. You know, you better get built up, you know. And that's what's going on now. You got a lot of pride, and you got a lot of proud spirits out here, you know. So, hey, you got to be aware, you know. Sirach chapter 17 and verse 14, and it reads, and he said unto them, beware of all unrighteousness. And he gave every man commandment concerning his neighbor. Talking about Jacob, you know. Talking about Isaac. Talking about Abraham. The Lord gave Abraham commandments, laws, statutes. The Lord gave Isaac things to do. The Lord gave Jacob things to do. The Lord gave the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans commandments, decrees, judgments, you know. And a lot of people saying the hell with it. Now they're getting shot in the street, getting a knee on their neck, you know, getting drugs planted on them, getting 30 to life, getting thrown in the penitentiary, getting their children snatched from them, you know, getting all type of plagues and diseases, man. Now we dealing with the curses, all because we didn't want to be aware, you know. Now we the last hire, the first fire, all because we didn't want to be aware, and we just wanted to give in to the wicked sins and the wicked lusts, You know, now all our women are harlots and whores, and you know, all they want to do is, you know, test the waters, you know, or I don't need no man. You know, now our priests, they're defiled, you know, they're tainted. Now our food is, you know, we don't even know what we eating now, all because we didn't want to be aware, you know. So we gotta apply. You gotta apply what the Lord is saying. Let me get this real quick in 1 Timothy. We gotta apply what the Lord is saying. This is 1 Timothy chapter 1, and I'm gonna start at verse 5, and it reads, 1 Timothy chapter 1 and verse 5. Now the end of the commandment is charity, out of a pure heart, and of a good conscience, and of faith unfeigned. And a lot of people don't got faith, man. You know, if you are keeping the commandments, you got a lot of people, they may only keep the commandments to be seen, or because somebody told them, and they don't want nobody to get on them if they are found breaking the commandments, you know. But who's doing it with a pure heart, with faithfulness, you know, with believing, you know, with a honest spirit, you know, and while nobody is around, while nobody's looking, while nobody's watching, you know, who's keeping the commandments, you know, to really glorify the Lord, you know, to honor the Lord, respect the Lord, you know. And but you got a lot of people say, oh, we don't got to keep the commandments, you know. Hey, I got Christ, you know. I got Christ the King, you know. I got the risen Savior. I don't need to keep the commandments. But hey, this is how we conduct ourselves. This is how we maneuver in this society, which is a society of wickedness, you know. So if you're saying you don't got to keep the commandments, then now you're saying you can be a homosexual. Now you're saying that you can sell your daughter to get your you know, a cyber truck, you know. Now you're telling your daughter to show a body on the internet, you know. So a lot of people, they not being aware. Verse 6, 1 Timothy chapter 1, verse 6. From which some having swerved, so like it, 1 Timothy 1 and 6. From which some having swerved have turned aside unto vain jangling, desire to be teachers of the law, understanding neither what they say, nor whereof they affirm. But we know that the law is good if a man use it lawfully, knowing this, that the law is not made for a righteous man, but for the lawless and disobedient, for the ungodly and for the sinners, for unholy and profane, for murderers of fathers and murderers of mothers, for manslayers, for whoremongers, for them that defile themselves with mankind, for men stealers, for liars, for perjured persons, and if there be any other thing that is contrary to sound doctrine, according to the glorious gospel of the blessed God, which was committed to my trust. So you got the law, statute, commandments for those that are whoremongers, for those that are man stealers, for liars. But yet you got people saying they don't got to keep the commandments. You know, you got the law, statute, commandments for women that, you know, want to turn up, party, and then now they're found, you know, 2 months with no period, you know. Now they talking about, I got to get rid of this child because I'm not at the point of my life to have a child. But hey, from the beginning of the time, the Lord, hey, made sex for bringing forth souls to the Most High, so you can bring forth more Israelites to the earth to glorify and magnify the Lord. Now you're a whoremonger, you know. Now you're a fornicator. Now you're a harlot, you know. Now you just living your life, idolizing yourself, you know, putting your body out there, you know, when they ain't even your body. It belongs to the Lord. So now the Lord got to cut you down. Now the Lord got to make you a laughing stock. Now the Lord got to use you as an example, hey, to jam you up, you know. So the commandments is how we glorify the Lord and how we conduct and maneuver in this society. Because, hey, don't nobody else got the law, statute, commandments. These other nations don't got the law, statute, commandments. You know, but the Lord gave the law, statutes, and commandments to the Israelites. You know, read Deuteronomy chapter 6. You know, read Deuteronomy chapter 30. You know, read Deuteronomy chapter 11. Hey, we can't just say, well, we got Christ. You know, that's not it. Let me get a quick precept right quick. This is Galatians chapter 3, and I'm gonna start at verse 19. Galatians chapter 3 verse 19, and it reads, I don't want to get off track, but you know, just kind of flowing through the spirit, but staying on topic. Galatians chapter 3 verse 19. Wherefore then serveth the law? It was added because of transgressions, till the seed should come to whom the promise was made, and it was ordained by angels in the hand of a mediator. Now a mediator is not a mediator of one, but God is one. So now you need to be directed back to the Father. And who's going to direct us back to the Father? Hey, the Messiah, Yahweh Shah Mashiach, the righteous. Galatians 3 and 21. Is the law then against the promises of God? God forbid. For if there had been a law given which could have given life, verily righteousness should have been by the law. But the scripture had concluded all under sin, that the promise by faith of Yahweh Shah Hamashiach might be given to them that believe. So now it ain't just the law, statutes, commandments. Hey, it's the law, statutes, commandments, and now it's having faith. You know, and we know Yahweh Shah to be faith, because you know he's who we have to believe in. You know, I believe that a lamb was slain for me. I believe that instead of animals being sacrificed, the Son of Man was sacrificed. So I'm going to accept the Son of Yahweh, you know, and all the things that he gave me, you know, so I can be, presented back to the Father. Verse 22, it's like verse 23, Galatians 3 and 23. But before faith came, we were kept under the law, shut up unto the faith which should afterwards be revealed. You know, dealing with animal sacrifice. Verse 24, wherefore the law was our schoolmaster to bring us unto Christ, that we might be justified by faith. But after that faith has come, we are no longer under a schoolmaster. So now you don't have to sacrifice animals anymore, you know. So now, hey, does that mean we can sin and we can just do what we want to do? Did Christ do what he wanted to do? You know, did the apostles do what they wanted to do? Did the prophets do what they wanted to do? A lot of people, they want to be holy, and they call themselves holy, but hey, in all reality, they defile themselves, and they want to defile themselves even more. You know, they don't want to be righteous. You know, so we have to watch. We have to watch what we're saying and what we're dealing with. You know, so a lot of this stuff, you know, it just brings more confusion if you don't, you know, get the understanding that you're supposed to have according to the Holy Spirit, you know, the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Or else you're going to be caught out there, you're going to be jammed up, thinking it's okay. This is why false doctrines is so important. This is why it's so important to have a teacher according to the truth, because you're going to mess around, get led to the slaughter, you know, and get your head chopped off, you know. And that's what a lot of people are doing. The blind leading the blind. You know, people just going according to the masses, according to the what's the word I want to use? They're going according to the majority. Well, everybody, hey, it's a little bit of people over here, that must not be the truth. It's a lot of people over here, oh, that's gotta be the truth. Let me go over here. And now everybody just going into the ways of destruction. You know. Now let me get this in 1 Kings. Now what if you mess around and what if you mess around and start getting into wicked desires, and now you know you're dealing with another man's wife, because you lusted after another man's wife, and then you gave it to that sin. Or what if you're a woman and you're messing around dealing with a man, you know, talking about you don't want to be married anymore. And now, hey, now you done cheated on your husband, you know. Do you not know that one demon can bring about 7,000 more demons, you know? Trying to figure out why in the world you thinking, your thoughts, how you thinking. You know, you're trying to figure out why you got a homosexual demon on you. You're trying to figure out why you got all these demons on you, you know. Hey, what if the Lord mess around and put a lying spirit on you, you know? And now you don't want to tell the truth. Now you don't know the truth. Now you don't got a truth speaking moment ever in your life again. What if you lusted after smoking weed, snorting white powder, and next thing you know, the Lord put a demon on you that's going to bring 20 other demons, you know? This is why it's so important to examine yourself, because you're going to mess around and jam yourself up and thinking you can kind of get away with everything, thinking you can kind of get out of any and everything, when you got to read a lot of our forefathers and foremothers. It wasn't easy to put a demon away, you know. Let me get this in 1 Kings right quick. What if the Lord put a spirit on you, you know, and it's going to be the end for you? Let me get this in 1 Kings. This is 1 Kings chapter 22. 1 Kings chapter 22, and I'm gonna start at verse 17. 1 Kings chapter 22, verse 17, and it reads, "And he said, I saw all Israel scattered upon the hills as sheep that have not a shepherd. And the Lord said, These have no master. Let them return every man to his house in peace." Salakia. Throat getting a little dry. Salakia. Let me read this one more time. Excuse me. 1 Kings chapter 22 and verse 17. "And he said, I saw all Israel scattered upon the hills as sheep that have not a shepherd. And the Lord said, These have no master. Let them return every man to his house in peace. And the king of Israel said unto Jehoshaphat, Did I not tell thee that he would prophesy no good concerning me, but evil? And he said, Hear thou therefore the word of the Lord. I saw the Lord sitting on his throne." So now he's about to go into a vision that he's seen, you know. Now he's about to go into something that was about to be proclaimed, that was going to come to pass. "I saw the Lord sitting on his throne, and all the hosts of heaven standing by him on his right hand and on his left. And the Lord said, Who shall persuade Ahab that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead? And one said on this matter, and another said on that matter." So now these spirits, you know, they're trying to state their case to who's gonna be the wicked spirit that's gonna go into this man to cause him to do wickedness. Verse 21, 1 Kings 22 and 21. "And there came forth a spirit and stood before the Lord and said, I will persuade him. And the Lord said unto him, Wherewith? And he said, I will go forth, and I will be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. And he said, Thou shalt persuade him and prevail also. Go forth and do so." So he had a vision, and he seen this interaction being done in the spiritual world, and these wicked evil spirits, because you got righteous spirits and you got evil spirits, because all of us have vessels. So in these vessels there are spirits, either righteous spirits or evil wicked spirits, you know, or either wicked spirits. So, you know, these evil spirits, you know, are being sent forth to go out and be a lying spirit on these prophets that was known to be false prophets. Verse 23, 1 Kings 22 and 23. Now therefore, behold, the Lord had put a lying spirit in the mouth of all these thy prophets, and the Lord has spoken evil concerning thee. Now, hey, what if the Lord what if the Lord put a spirit on you that came from a lust spirit, or a wicked desire, or you know, from you committing murder, you having hatred towards your brother, you know? What? Hey, what just imagine that, you know? Just imagine, you know, the Lord putting a lying spirit on your wife, and not everything you ask your wife, you know, did you really go to the store? She said, yeah, but came back with a whole different outfit on that she left with, you know, because hey, if you start lying, you know, that can lead to more demons, you know. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Now you're lying to all Israelites, you know. Now you're lying to Samuel the prophet. Now you're lying to Ezekiel the prophet. Now you're lying to Daniel the prophet. Now you're lying to Yahushua. Now you're lying to Yahweh, you know. All because you wanted to lust, you know. You wanted to have another man's wife, you know. You wanted to watch pornography. You wanted to masturbate, you know. You wanted to spill your seed instead of just building yourself up, and you just want to look at a woman being naked. You wanted to fire yourself. Now the Lord about to put a lying spirit on you, you know. Now you can't tell the truth to save your life, you know. Now not only can you not tell the truth, you know, hey, the Lord gonna get you out of the truth, you know. So this is why it's important to watch and pray and examine yourself, and to cast off these wicked lust demons, you know. This is not a game. This is not a joke. We living in the last days, you know. Don't think, hey, when you see all hell breaking loose, you can kind of just you can you know, do a spin move and kind of just get back in the spirit. It don't work like that. You gotta stay ready, you know, because you don't know how the Lord gonna come upon come upon the earth. You don't know how the Lord gonna have the chariots just going to and fro, you know. Hey, what if the Lord in the next 10 minutes just sent a fleet of chariots to your city, 20,000 chariots to destroy every piece of land where you are right now? Hey, ain't no way you can get yourself right in 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 20 minutes. You know, ain't no way you can just drop everything you're doing and just, hey, act like you ain't do nothing wicked last night or an hour ago, 2 hours ago. You can't just act like you didn't just pop a man's wife. You can't just act like you didn't just sell dope, man. You know, you can't just act like, you know, you didn't run up in somebody's house, kick the door in, and point a gun to somebody's head, talking about, go give me the safe, you know. When the Lord pull up on the earth, whenever that is, whether it be the next 5 minutes, 20 minutes, hey, you know, this is why we got to have the mindset to fear the Lord. Because, hey, anytime we fall short, judgment is right at your door. Soon as you go out, soon as you come back in. Soon as you go out, soon as you come back in. You can't escape that judgment. You know, I can't escape that judgment. I can't be out here acting like I'm holier than thou, you know, better than any and everybody, you know, and act like, you know, just because I'm on the highways and byways, and just because I quote precepts, hey, nah. Hey, the Lord don't get down like that, you know. Hey, the Lord, he'll pull up on you, you know. He'll cut you down. He'll bring you up. He'll bring you down. He'll cut you off. He'll blot your name out. You won't be remembered. You won't be found nowhere else. Just like a video game, you push that delete button, it's gone. Or just like you take a picture, next thing you know, you hit that trash can, whatever device you got, you can't bring that back, you know. So, hey, what if you was to do some wickedness and the Lord take all your righteousness away, man? You know, you gotta think like that, or else, you know, you're gonna have a reprobate mind, you know. Now, I wanted to go down. I wanted to go down to, like, let's sit on down. Let me get this in Luke real quick. It's the book of Luke, chapter 11. Hey, we gotta fear the Lord, man. A lot of us, we kind of just playing games out here. You know, this is not the summer league. This is not a one and done, man. You got you get it, you get a championship and then you out of there. You know, you kind of get your ring. You know, you kind of get your garment, you get you some fringes on, get your meat on, or your woman, you get your dress on with your hair wrap. You know, you kind of did your thing for a season or two, and you got up out of there, man. Hey, this truth, this is your life. This is your heritage. You know, these are not trophies, accolades that we should be trying to get. You know, people are really dying out here, man. You know, people are literally coming up missing. You know, the Lord putting spirits. Hey, the Lord is judging the earth. Should you be aware? If you're not aware, yes. You know, should you be worried? If you're not worried, yes. You know, should you get yourself right? If you ain't right, yes. You know, the Lord is not playing. You know, now is the time. If you got a mind to where you're trying to figure yourself out, I'm trying to get my life together. I'm trying to figure out, you know, what should I do? You know, 2-year plan or a year plan. Should I go to the military? Should I go back to school? You know, should I start me a business? Should I get my LLCs? You know, should I start if you're a woman, should I start a nail salon? Should I, you know, start my makeup salon? Should I start doing eyelashes? If you're trying to figure this thing out, look, you live in the last days. Hey, all you need to be worried about is trying to get yourself together, because everything around you and everything you see, hey, it's gonna get destroyed. You know, that I ain't saying don't try to make yourself, you know, a better life. If you got kids, or if you got a woman, or if you're a man, you got a woman, or if you're a woman and you got a husband, or you got kids, you know, we understand we got to take care of our responsibilities, but listen, you got to get your mind right. You know, you got to get yourself in a position where, you know, you can live a life pleasing to the Lord. Because if you just going along with the motions and with the wind, and you just getting tossed to and fro, that ain't living. You know, what's the point of trying to live and you scared for your life? You know, what's the point of trying to roll with thugs and killers and you know, men that really don't have a care for their life? But when you lay down at night, you gotta hold that thing tight. You know, and you gotta clock that thing back. You know, you kind of gotta sleep with one eye open, one eye closed. I mean, that ain't living. You know, I mean, like how in the world you gonna try to live a life, but you can't get no rest? You know, you really can't. You really can't get no rest. That's a double no rest. Cause for one, there ain't no rest in America, and then on top of that, you want to make things worse for yourself. That ain't living. You know, if you gonna die for something, you better die for the Lord. You better go out trying to get your people right. You know, instead of trying to kill your people. You know, you can't live in this society. This ain't living. You know, you paying taxes. You go to the store, you spend $80 on groceries, $100 on groceries, then you paying more taxes on the taxes that you already paying. You know, next thing you know, hey, you go outside, your tire flat, so you gotta go back in the store, buy a tire. You know, after you done spent all your money, now you gotta try to figure out where you gonna get some more money from, so you can spend some more money. You know, and then after you spent money that you ain't got, you trying to figure out how you gonna get more money to spend that money, or to pay that money back. You know, so hey, this ain't living. You know, and you ain't got no rest here, man. You know. And people just love it here. They love it here. You know, they got their money, they got their cars, they got their clothes, and don't even realize it that, hey, this, in the blink of an eye, hey, all this about to be blown up. You know, what you think? Hey, Hey, these elites doing, man? You know, they trying to figure out how to kill us day by day. You know, trying to come up with some plan to figure out how they could jam the Israelites up. You know, hey, every celebrity is literally in a meeting trying to figure out how they can distract us. You know, you don't hear about Kanye like that no more. Now, hey, now you got now you got the what's the I can't even think of the name. Now you got all type of stuff being put in front of you to keep you asleep, man. To keep you distracted. You know, every month, every 2 or 3 months is something new. Okay, they kind of tired of it now. Let's figure something else out. And y'all don't realize that the so-called Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the target. You're literally the target, you know, because you're chosen, you know. But hey, I ain't trying to just go on a rant. Let's stick to the script. Stick to the scriptures. Luke chapter 11, verse 24. It's the book of Luke chapter 11, verse 24, and it reads, when the unclean spirit is gone out of a man, he walketh through dry places, seeking rest and finding none. He said, I will return unto my house whence I came out. So, hey, you might have thought you got rid of that spirit, but hey, you got to stay on these demons' necks, you know. You got to be to the point where even when you don't feel like praying, you better pray, man, you know. Because if you can get up and go to work every day, to a workplace that you don't want to go to a job that you hate, to a boss man that you hate clocking in and out, you hate burning your gas to go to this slave site, but hey, let you not want to pray. You mean to tell me you rather smile in your I'm trying to use my words wisely now. You mean to tell me you rather smile a fake smile at that? You rather smile in your boss face, who you hate and talk about all the time, but you don't want to pray because you just don't feel like it. You know, you don't want to talk to the Lord. You know, you don't want to ask the Lord to strengthen you so you can fight these spirits, so you can glorify the Lord with your body, with your mind. You know, you gotta make this thing worth a while, worth the what's the word I want to use? You gotta make this worth, you know, being fought for, man. You know, because the kingdom of heaven is worth fighting for. You know, but you got a lot of people that, you know, they spend their whole life trying to win the lottery. You know, every dime they get, they trying to play the numbers, they trying to scratch off, they trying to figure this thing out. You know, they done lost 1,000 times and they haven't lost hope. They still trying to hit numbers, they still trying to make it big, you know. But why you ain't trying to put that same effort towards getting the kingdom of heaven? You just letting these demons have their way with you, you know. You just going through life and not trying to put up a fight, you know. That ain't what the Lord did. The Lord put up a fight. Hey, he said, nah, I gotta die for her, I gotta die for him, I gotta die for her, I gotta die for him, I gotta die for her. You know, them children are fatherless, I gotta put my life on the line for them. You know, hey, the Lord thought about all of us, you know. So when we get to a place, we got to think about the Lord, you know. We got to cut these demons down. We got to put these demons in a headlock, you know. So reading this again, Luke 11 and 24. When the unclean spirit is gone out of a man, he walketh through dry places, seeking rest and finding none. He said, I will return unto my house whence I came out. And when he cometh, he findeth it swept and garnished. Then goeth he and taketh to him 7 other spirits, more wicked than himself. And they enter in and dwell there. And the last state of that man is worse than the first. You see that? So if you don't watch yourself, you're gonna be messed around and gave into something that's leading towards other spirits to come in. You know, so hey, it's important for us to watch ourselves and to understand that any little thing, any and everything. Hey, it's no telling. It's no telling. You know. And you may let a demon in your house. You know, they might have hopped on your daughter. You know, might have hopped on your wife. You know. Or hey, you let something slide in your house, or you let something slide between your woman and your child, it might hop on you. And you think just because you go on the highways and byways and you teach the Bible, or just because you know you're an Israelite, you thinking it's something that you can kind of cast down. You know, even though we know there's no enchantment against Jacob, even though we know, you know, we can conquer and cast down these wicked, you know, spirits, that doesn't apply if you just willingly giving in to certain things, you know. Now let me get this in Genesis real quick, you know, because our forefathers, they was known for fighting demons, you know. Our forefathers was known for wrestling with angels, you know. Let me get this in Genesis 32. Genesis chapter 32, and I'm going to start at verse 24. Genesis chapter 32, and I'm going to start at verse 24, and it reads, "And Jacob was left alone, and there wrestled a man with him until the breaking of the day. And when he saw that he prevailed not against him, he touched the hollow of his thigh, and the hollow of Jacob's thigh, Salakia, and the hollow of Jacob's thigh was out of joint, and he wrestled with him. And he said, Let me go, for the day breaketh. And he said, I will not let thee go, except thou bless me." So, you fighting these spirits, you know, and you trying to figure out like what's going on, you know. You done prayed one time, ain't nothing happened. You done prayed twice, ain't nothing happened. You done prayed thrice, ain't nothing happened. You done fasted, you done got multiple fasting. You got, if you got that far. But our forefather Jacob, he was wrestling with an angel, you know. How you think Jacob got his name changed from Jacob to Israel, you know? But yeah, we act like we can't, put the remote control down, or put the laptop down, or turn the phone off when we see wicked stuff. We like to just keep scrolling, and now you done clicked on it, you know, or somebody done came around you with some type of sorcery or something, and now you, instead of walking away, you know, now you getting enticed, you know. Our forefathers, they wrestle with these angels, you know, literally wrestle with an angel, you know. And a lot of people, they feel like not only just Christians but Israelites too. A lot of people, they feel like if they can get past one thing, they can get past everything, you know. Which, if you got faith and hope in the Most High, that is true. But one demon ain't always gonna be easy to deal with, you know. Like the last demon that you dealt with, you know. So you can't apply every spirit, you know, that you cut down, you know. It ain't no telling how long it's gonna take you to fight with that. And this ain't no 10-minute thing we talking about that Jacob was dealing with, you know. So I'm gonna read this again. I'm gonna read this again. This is Genesis 32 and 24. Cause you may feel like, you know, you kind of got over that situation, or that you kind of just won that battle, you know. Sometimes it may take you years to overcome stuff, you know. It may take you years to overcome things, you know, or to fight off a spirit, or to fight off some type of you know, whatever you dealing with, you know. Genesis chapter 32 verse 24. "And Jacob was left alone, and there wrestled a man with him until the breaking of the day. It says until the breaking of the day. That's a long time. And when he saw that he prevailed not against him, he touched the hollow of his thigh, and the hollow of Jacob's thigh was out of joint. And he wrestled with him, and he said, let me go, for the day breaketh. And he said, I will not let thee go, except thou bless me. And he said unto him, what is thy name? And he said, Jacob. And he said, thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel. For as a prince hast thou power with Most High God and with man, and has prevailed. And Jacob asked him and said, tell me, I pray thee, thy name. And he said, wherefore is it that thou doest ask after my name? And he blessed him there. So he had the spirit and the mind to say, I'm not letting you go. You know, you about to give me something. Hey, you about to give me something before you leave. You know. Hey, that's the mindset that you got to have when you dealing with all these type of spirits. They try to overthrow you, man. You got a wrath spirit. You know, it started at the job, and you thought you only was getting mad at your boss man and your co-workers. Now you done went home. Now you yelling at your child for no reason. You know, now you trying to figure out why your child don't want to come out of the room. You know, or why your child not interacting with you. You know. Trying to figure out why your wife don't want to talk to you. Or if you're a woman, trying to figure out why your husband don't like to talk to you. You know, trying to figure out why the brothers, they don't want to include you in nothing. Because you got a wrath spirit on you. You know, you can't let these demons, you know, control your mind and your body. Now you ready to fight all the time. You know, you're always serious, you know. Hey, we got to apply the same thing like our forefather did. We got to say, I ain't letting you go until you leave me alone, you know, until I get stronger and I can cast you down, you know. These wicked spirits, they like to bring other spirits, man, you know. So we have to apply fighting these demons, you know, and keeping them in check and keeping them in the headlock, man, you know. Now, you also have, which we're not going to get into it for the sake of time, but you can read it on your own. We also have our forefather Joseph, you know, when he fled from the Egyptian woman, you know. A lot of brothers, they see a beautiful woman, you know. Let a woman say, hey, lay with me. Hey, they give into it, you know. What, hey, or the drop of a dime. They say, the hell with your husband, let's get it on. You know, and next thing you know, that woman might, hey, she might lay with men and women. Next thing you know, hey, you done brought 7 other spirits in your house. Now you trying to figure out why your daughter, why she like women, you know, or why your son like men, you know, because you told that spirit, let's get it on. Now, them demons went up in your house and they said, let's get it on. They went straight to your son room. They went straight to your daughter room, and hey, they might have went to your woman as well. You gotta have this mindset when you make decisions and when you apply things in your life. Try to act like nothing ain't gonna come from it. You know, you can't do that. You know, because anytime you say, okay, hey, this me, hey, I'm gonna do this. Let's do it. You know. You know, you telling a woman, oh, it's just one time, you know, it's our secret. Nobody will have to know. You know, you're my little secret, you know, you secretly texting. But the Lord is the Lord ain't gonna bring these demons secretly. You know, he might allow it to spread like a plague or leprosy, you know. Next thing you know, it don't went around it wasn't just only you. Wasn't it just only King David? You know, it was King David, Bathsheba, and their child. The child died after King David committed adultery. The child died, but Bathsheba and King David was grieving, man. You know, the Lord said, y'all gonna feel this pain, you know. And hey, that was King David, you know. How much more me? How much more you? You know, you gotta look at just, you know, like Zahar, Salaki for pronunciation, just like they just posted, you know. The Most High is taking notes. That's correct, you know. So hey, one decision can jam up your whole house. One decision can jam up your whole congregation. One wicked lust demon can run rampant in your whole entire house, you know. And you have to have that mindset and that fear, or else, you know, you gonna think judgment ain't on the earth, you know. You think, oh man, my big toe hurting, you know. My feet are always hurting, you know. But hey, but you can't examine that, hey, your children got pain too, you know. It ain't just only you gonna have pain, you know. Hey, let something go, let something go on, and you sin against your maker, you know, and you don't repent from it. Hey, it's gonna be more than body pains, you know. Let me go to Luke real quick. This is the book of Luke. This is the book of Luke, and let me see what I want. This is the book of Luke chapter 9. Luke chapter 9, and I'm gonna start at verse 22. Luke 9 and 22, and it reads, Salaki. Luke 9 and 22, saying, the Son of Man must suffer many things, and be rejected of the elders and chief priests and scribes, and be slain and be raised the third day. So before that third day came, hey, the Lord was in pain, you know. The Lord felt it, you know. The Messiah, hey, he felt it, you know. It wasn't, oh man, I'm about to be the king, you know, I'm about to come back on the third day. When you in that moment, hey, it don't feel good, you know. It don't feel good. And it may seem like, hey, that when that time comes, it's gonna be so long before it comes. Hey, it may seem like the kingdom of heaven is so long away. Oh man, it will never come. You know, another day in Babylon. Oh man, I'm tired of paying bills. Why hasn't the kingdom came yet? You know, and you just living another day in hell. You know, it's hot. You know, you never sweated so much in your life. You know, this summer ain't been a you know, I can't remember the last time I sweated as much as I've been sweating this summer, man. You know, but hey, I'd rather suffer now and reign later than suffer now and then suffer again when the Lord come back and destroy the earth. You know, so you gotta have that mindset. You gotta just deal with it. You know, stick your chin up, stick your chest out. You know, repent. You know, and endure, and wait for the Lord to give you a crown, Lord willing. But hey, you gotta, hey, anytime you dealing with something, you gotta have your mind say, hey, the Lord, he dealt with it too. So hey, I gotta deal with it. The Lord carry his cross, I gotta carry my cross too. Verse 23, Luke 9 and 23, and it reads, and he said unto them all, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross daily and follow me. So all them demons you gotta fight and deal with, you know, hey, don't just let them get by. You know, you gotta say, man, I gotta take control, because I wanna glorify the Lord in my body. You know, I can't be found as a whoremonger. You know, I can't be found as if you're a woman, as a witch. You know, I can't be found as a harlot. You shouldn't want to be found as a harlot. You should want to glorify the Lord in your body. You know, you should want to forsake your flesh and the cares of this world. You know, because you should apply all of the suffering that the Lord suffered. You should apply that and say, hey, the Lord suffered. Hey, I'm gonna suffer too. You know, You can't just give in to everything. I want to feel good. I want to feel pleasure at its highest level. You know, let that come in the kingdom. You know, let that come when the Lord established righteousness on the earth. But now, it's not the time. You know. So let me read this one more time. Luke 9:23. And he said unto them all, if any man would come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross daily and follow me. For whosoever will save his life shall lose it, but whosoever will lose his life for my name's sake, but whosoever will lose his life for my sake, the same shall save it. For what is a man advantage if he gain the whole world, he lose himself or be cast away? So you shouldn't want to be cast away. These demons, they want to try to come and cast us away, you know. But we want to be rooted, you know, like Colossians 2:7. You know, we want to be grounded in the Lord. We don't want to be cast away. You know. Let me get this in St. John real quick. St. John chapter 12. And I'm gonna start at verse 26. St. John chapter 12 and verse 26, and it reads, if any man serve me, let him follow me. So we gotta follow the Lord, not follow our flesh, you know. Because anytime you dealing with temptation and you don't call upon the Lord, then you've already gave strength to Satan, you know. But anytime you deal with temptation and you call upon the Lord, call out to the Lord, you know, for deliverance, for strength, you know, now you glorifying the Lord. Now you forsook the flesh, you know. Now you're forsaking the flesh, you know. Because it's many different lusts, wicked lusts. You might lust after, you know, after you heard a commandment. You might say, well, nah, man, you know, it ain't that easy, you know. I want to do it one more time. I'm gonna give it up, but I'm gonna do it one more time. Now that one more time, you gave power to the spiritual demon Satan. Now Satan took the keys from you. He threw you in the trunk, and now he in the driver's seat. You know, that one more time became you giving your power over to the spiritual demon Satan. You know, one more time. You know, instead of what you should have said, Father, you know, you are in control. You know, I humble myself down. You know, my life is in your hands now. You know, forgive me for my errors and my shortcomings. Forgive me for my ignorances. Forgive me for the sins that I forsook. So like, forgive me for the law, statute, commandments that I forsook. You know, forgive me for my sins. You know, forgive me for being rebellious. You know, instead of saying all of that, a lot of people say one more time. You know, and that one more time is a plethora of many different terminologies for, you know, do what you want, Satan. You know, have it your way. You know, control me. You know, use me. Hey, you can't say one more time. You got to go before the Lord and say, Lord, take it. You know, take that lust away from me. You know, take that pornography away from me. Take that blunt away from me. You know, take that woman away from me. If you're a man, you know, or if you're a woman, take that man away from me. You know, Lord, control my life in righteousness. You know, use me to glorify your doings. You know, but a lot of people want to say one more time. You know, so reading this, St. John 12 and 26. If any man serve me, let him follow me. And where I am, there shall also my servant be. If any man serve me, him will my Father honor. So, we should be serving the Lord with our eyes, with our mind, you know, with our footsteps, you know. Should be asking the Lord to direct our footsteps, should be asking the Lord to not allow any wicked thing to override the mind that he gave us. Let me get this quick precept in Psalms real quick. Let's go to Psalms 141. Psalms 141. And we're going to start at verse 4. Psalms 141, really, you want to start at verse 3. Really, this whole prayer is a mighty prayer. But we're going to start at verse 3. Psalms 141, verse 3. Set a watch, O Lord, Yahweh, before my mouth. Keep the door of my lips. So you might be trying to spit game to a woman. Really, you might be trying to spit game to Satan. You know, saying, yeah, Ace, you know, I'm going to turn you out. Next thing you know, you're trying to turn Satan out. Next thing you know, Satan, he done turned you out. You know, now you done turned away from righteousness. Now you in the way of wickedness. You know, so you gotta speak righteous things. You know, anytime Satan come around, you know, whether you feel like you're by yourself or not, hey, you always got the angels around you. You know, the angels, the angels ain't gonna lie now. They ain't gonna say, well, you know, you did give alms yesterday, so I'm not really gonna tell the Lord what you did. You know, ain't no angel about to lie or bear false witness. You know. So, hey, matter of fact, let me get this real quick. I don't know why I didn't think about this. So like it. All praise to you. How about you, Shah? Let me get this in Job real quick. Job 42. Job chapter 42, and I'm gonna start at verse 2. Ain't no angel about to lie. Job chapter 42, and I'm gonna start at verse 1, and it reads, Then Job answered the Lord and said, I know that thou canst do everything, and that no thought can be withholden from thee. So you lying to yourself, talking about you love the Lord, talking about you a man of the Lord, or if you're a woman, you a woman of the Lord. Well, if you a man or a woman of the Lord, hey, you know, when these demons come around, when these spirits come around, hey, be a man of the Lord, be a woman of the Lord, you know, and cut them demons down, you know. Let me get this precept real quick. Yeah, you got to cut these spirits down, man. You know, stop trying to act like, you know, this is a one-hit wonder. You know, this is Sirach chapter 23 and verse 19. Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha chapter 23 and verse 19, and it reads, Such a man only feareth the eyes of men, and knoweth not that the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of men and considering the most secret parts. So the Lord, hey, he's got a telescope on the most secret parts of men. Man, women, children, you know, the Lord can see everything, you know. So, hey, we can't just act like, you know, hey, we getting away with stuff, you know. That, hey, the Lord is a mastermind. He's the most intelligent that will ever be, you know. Who you think is the most smartest and the most advanced and the most intelligent on the earth? Hey, the Lord created that person. So his mind is way beyond what anybody can understand. There ain't no understanding of the Lord. There ain't no figuring out the Lord. There ain't no trying to, I wonder why he did that. Why did he not do this instead of that? You ain't gonna figure that out, you know. That's too high, you know. That's not in this world. That's not on the earth, you know. The Lord is so above man. He don't even have to be on the earth, you know. The Lord can use a tree to confound somebody. The Lord can use water to destroy men, you know. The Lord can use an animal to speak, you know. So how we think we gonna get away with something, you know? Now, I also wanted another precept, but I don't think it might have escaped me. Let me see. But we can go back to this though. Let me get this real quick in 1 Corinthians. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 6. So we gotta get to the point where, you know, we dropping it like it's really coming straight out of the oven. You know. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 18, and it reads, "Flee fornication. Every sin that a man doeth is without the body, but he that committed fornication sinneth against his own body." So fornication is another understanding for if a man lay down with a woman that's already promised to another man, or that's already married to another man, or if a man and a woman sleep with an animal or something like that. You know, we have to understand that, you know, our body wasn't set up and wasn't created for these such matters. You know, we was created to be holy, the righteous, pure, you know, royalty. We wasn't created to be moving in the spirit of just doing whatever we want to. Verse 19, 1 Corinthians 6 and 19. "What? Know ye not that your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit?" Which we understand it says Holy Ghost, but we understand it's really the Spirit. "What? Know ye not that your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit, which is in you, which ye have of God Most High? And ye are not your own, for ye are bought with a price. Therefore glorify God in your body and in your spirit, which are God's." So we gotta apply this and having the understanding of, you know, before we make decisions, you know, we gotta move like, okay, before I do this, you know, I gotta glorify the Lord. And, you know, I can't just do this because I only want to do this. You know, I have to do this to glorify the Lord. I have to do that to glorify the Lord. I have to do this to glorify the Lord, you know. And we have to have that mindset, or else we're just going to be, you know, doing whatever we want to do. And we can't move in that spirit, you know. So it's many ways you can overcome these lust demons, these wicked lust demons. You know, you can pray, you can fast, you can start reading more. Anytime you have a wicked thought, you should have your word by you, so you can open up the word and, you know, have it have a direct response to anything that may try to overthrow you. You know, let me get this in 2 Chronicles. This is 2 Chronicles chapter 20, and I'm gonna start at verse 15. 2 Chronicles chapter 20 and verse 15, and it reads, I'm gonna start at verse 14. 2 Chronicles 20 and 14. "Then upon Jahaziel, the son of Zechariah, the son of Benaiah, the son of Jael, the son of Mattaniah, a Levite of the sons of Asaph, came the Spirit of the Lord in the midst of the congregation. And he said, Hearken ye, all Judah, and ye inhabitants of Jerusalem, and thou King Jehoshaphat, thus said the Lord unto you, be not afraid nor dismayed by reason of this great multitude, for the battle is not yours, but God's. Tomorrow go ye down against them. Behold, they come up by the cliff of Zez, and ye shall find them at the end of the brook, before the wilderness of Jeriel. Ye shall not need to fight in this battle. Set yourselves, stand ye still, and see the salvation of the Lord with you, O Judah and Jerusalem. Fear not, nor be dismayed. Tomorrow go out against them, for the Lord will be with you." So you got to look at this and understand everything that you go through and everything that you will go through. You know, you got to understand that the Lord will be with you. You can't just do according to your mind of pride and thinking, okay, you know, the Lord always gonna be with me. Hey, now if you mess around and deal with some wickedness, you know, and the Lord can depart from you. That's why King David said, like in Psalms 51, You know, cast me not away from thy presence, and take not the Holy Spirit. You know, because the Lord can take your spirit away from you, but you got to have the mindset and the spirit on, okay, I want to, you know, put away these wicked demons, you know. So when you move in that spirit, just like what we read, you know, the Lord can fight, you know, on your behalf. The Lord can make himself, you know, strong where you feel like you're weak at. So let me get this precept real quick. You know, but if you just want to kind of give in and, you know, do your own thing, then the Lord, hey, he can walk away from you, and next thing you know, you getting devoured by wicked demons. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 12, and I'm gonna start at verse 7. 2 Corinthians 12 and 7, and it reads, "And least I should be exalted above measure through the abundance of the revelations. There was given to me a thorn in the flesh, the messenger of Satan, to buffet me, lest I should be exalted above measure." So, you know, a lot of our forefathers, you know, they did a lot of stuff for the Most High, according to the prophets and the apostles. They actually lived a life that was pleasing in the eyes of the Lord. You know, the Lord had to remind them, hey, I'm still in control. It don't matter what you do, or, you know, who try to worship you and glorify you. I'm still in control, you know. So the Lord did such things as a way of letting them know he's in control. And just because they're holy men and righteous men, hey, they still are looking and hoping towards the Lord as well, with the pain that they deal with the persecutions that they dealt with, you know, with their life being, you know, not guaranteed, not knowing if they was going to die right then or not, you know. So the same way that, Paul was getting jammed up, you know, the Lord still remind him that, you know, I'm still with you. You know, you going through a lot of stuff, but, you know, I'm really who you need to hope for. Have hope in. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 7. It's like 2 Corinthians 12 and 8. "For this thing I besought the Lord thrice, that it might depart from me. And he said unto me, my grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness." So, whatever your weakness is, you know, if you seek the Lord, if you put the Lord first instead of putting your flesh first, the Lord can make things very strengthening in your walk. You know, you felt like you weren't able to overcome such things, and the next thing you know, you're saying, I could do all things through Christ. You know, next thing you know, you're telling Satan, get thee behind you. You know, next thing you know, you're moving mountains. You know, next thing you know, you're healed, you know, and you're set free. So reading this again, 2 Corinthians 12 and 9, "And he said unto me, my grace is sufficient for thee, for my strength is made perfect in weakness. Most gladly, therefore, will I rather glory in my infirmities, that the power of Christ may rest upon me. Therefore, I take pleasure in infirmities, in reproaches, in necessities, in persecutions, in distresses, for Christ's sake. For when I am weak, then am I strong." So when you are weak, then you are strong. Because why? You put the Lord first instead of putting your body first. Instead of just allowing actions to be played out by your mind, you know, because you wanted to live a righteous, you know, you want it to be righteous with things that you're giving your mind over to, instead of saying yes, you know, yes Satan, you saying no Satan, you know, I belong to the Lord, you know. My body is holy. My mind is holy. My vessel is holy. You know. Now, does that mean you're not going to stumble? You're not going to fall? No, that doesn't mean that. You know. We're going to fall short. You know. Well, why are we going to fall short? Let me get this real quick. Let me get this precept real quick. Because if you just strong and you're not falling short, you know, and now you don't need the Lord no more. Check this out. This is the classic. What we all should understand and know. This is Psalm chapter 23, verse 1. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. You know, hey, you don't want any other religion. You know, you don't want Buddhism. You don't want Jehovah's Witnesses. You know, understanding. You don't want the Islam. You don't want the Egyptology. You know, you don't want nothing else, but you want the Lord. You know, because you know, hey, when you mess up, the Lord is going to forgive you. You know, the Lord is going to bring you back. You know, when you backslide, you know the Lord is really going to comfort you and bring you back like a mother bring a child back to the bosom, like a father brings the child back. You know, when you fall short, you know, the Lord is going to be right there to comfort you. You know, verse 2, Psalm 23 and 2, he maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restored my soul. So the Lord is going to restore you when you fall short. You know, because, hey, let you fall short when you really was sincere and when you really want to be righteous, you know, and Satan try to put that guilt in your mind, try to make you feel like you're not worthy. You have no business teaching the words of God, you know, because you fell short yesterday, you know, trying to make you feel like you should be cut off right now because you fell short last week, you know, try to make you feel like you're not worthy of being called an Israelite, you know, because you did something very bad. Try to keep that guilt on you. And that's what Satan try to do. But the Lord is going to restore you, you know. Psalm 23 and 3. He restored my soul. He leaded me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. It is for the Lord's name's sake, not for our own sake, you know. So it's way beyond us. Verse 4, Psalm 23 and 4. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. For thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. So the Lord is going to comfort you. You know, when you feel like, man, I don't deserve to do this. I don't deserve to be here. You know, I don't deserve nothing the Lord gave me. You know, I deserve to die, you know. But hey, the Lord, he's going to comfort you. And now you got the Holy Spirit comforting you. Now you got videos comforting you. Now you got music comforting you. You know, you might have had death in your family, you know. So hey, the Satan might try to give you a double dose, you know. Now you got a stain on your shirt that you trying to get off. You might be sincere with it, you know. But you got things coming from every angle, from left and right, front to back. But the Lord is going to comfort you though, you know. And you gotta apply, you know, as much as you possibly can. You can't just try to dress up a wound with soap and water. You know, you might have to put a little ointment on it. You might have to put a Band-Aid on it. You might have to put some wraps on it, some gauze pads or something on it. You know, you might have to tape it up, you know. But if you let that wound just kind of stay out in the open, you know, if you let that demon just kind of sit right there, you don't bring that word out, you don't put no prayer on it, you don't put no fast on it, it ain't gonna go away how you want it to go away, you know. Let me get this in Sirach chapter 4. Lord willing, we're gonna get a couple more and wind down. This is Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha chapter 4, and I'm gonna start at verse 28. Strive for the truth unto death. So as long as you still alive, got breath in your body, able to hear, able to think, able to move and function, you should be striving, you know. Just because this demon got one up on you, hey, don't go out like that. You know, just because you failed a couple times, you know, and we know, like Proverbs say, you know, just man falleth 7 times, you know. Hey, just because you fail, you know, don't give up, you know. Hey, repent, you know. Hey, don't lose hope in the Lord. Don't let your conscience overthrow you. Next thing you know, you don't want to go around other brothers. And if you're a sister, you don't want to go around other sisters, you know. You kind of sold your laptop, talking about I'm not gonna do any more videos. You know, I don't got no business teaching no more. All because you failed. Everybody falls, you know. Everybody is gonna fall short, you know. But don't lose hope in the Lord. Sirach 4 and 28. Strive for the truth unto death, and the Lord shall fight for thee. Now, as long as you fighting, the Lord, he's gonna fight for you. You know. So, hey, don't let these demons control. You know. You, hey, take that sword, you know, and that shield, you know, and start swinging back. You know. Let me get this in Ephesians real quick. You got to start swinging back, you know. This is Ephesians, and I'm going to start at verse, Ephesians chapter 6, and I'm going to start at verse 16. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked. Now, a lot of times people, they only give in to certain things because they don't have faith, you know. Now, faith is gonna help you, you know. So one thing you need to pray for is an increase in your faith. If you have faith, you're not going to give in into a lot of demonic stuff. You know, you're going to cut things down. You know, you're not going to easily give into pornography. You're not going to easily give into masturbation. You're not going to easily give into getting drunk. You're not going to easily give into sorcery and wickedness and witchcraft and all of these idolatrous things. You want, if you got faith, you know, you're going to be able to withstand a lot of things, and you're going to be able to resist the spiritual demon Satan. But somebody that doesn't have faith, that really doesn't believe, you know, they just taking stuff for granted, you know, act like this thing is a game and it's a joke, you know, or a fashion or a trend, they're going to slip and fall, and they're going to waddle around in folly and madness and wickedness and sorcery, you know. And they really not going to live a life that's probably going to get them salvation, you know. Now, having faith is very big, you know, and is very key for salvation. Because if you got faith, you don't need nobody to kind of, you know, put you in the headlock and ask you, why did you do that? Or why you do this? Or why you do that? Because you really believe, you know. Now, a lot of people, hey, they keeping the law, statutes, commandments to be seen and to be looked upon as being righteous and to be, you know, somebody as mighty, you know. But hey, when you in the dark, when you behind the doors, when you by yourself, hey, that's when it counts, you know. That's when it counts. Hey, because when you're around a lot of other people, you got many distractions, you know. You may not, hey, your demons may not strengthen themselves, and they may not fight against you like that, you know. But when you leave and you go back home, you know, you go to your secret place, you know, these demons, they like to try to beat you up. They ganging on you, you know. So you gotta stay, you know, you gotta stay swinging. You gotta stay fighting. You gotta stay prayed up. You gotta ask the Lord to increase your faith. You gotta ask the Lord to increase his fear for you. I mean, for him, you know. Salaki. Because if you don't fear the Lord, hey, you gonna live your life with no boundaries, you know. You just gonna do whatever you want and don't have a care in the world, you know. And then when the Lord comes back, you're gonna be weeping and gashing in your teeth, you know. So Ephesians 6:16, above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of Most High God. So you got to have the word, you know, you got to have that sword to be able to cut them spirits, to be able to cut them demons, you know, those wicked thoughts that try to go in your mind and to make you do things that you don't want to do, and trying to figure out why you didn't make the best decision. And, you know, you might have got counsel and you might have overthrew the counsel, all because you let your mind war against all of the decrees and the words of life that you once heard. You know, like it says in Mark chapter 4, you know, they heard the word, they was excited, but when affliction arose, you know, it overthrew their judgment. Roughly paraphrasing Mark chapter 4, you know. But nevertheless, I want to get this in 2 Samuel before we close this out. This is 2 Samuel. This is 2 Samuel chapter 13. I'm going to start at verse 1. 2 Samuel chapter 13, starting at verse 1, and it reads, and it came to pass after this, that Absalom, the son of David, had a fair sister, whose name was Tamar, and Ammon, the son of David, loved her. And Ammon was so vexed that he fell sick for his sister Tamar. Now, this isn't a direct sister. This is like a half sister, you know, because King David, you know, we understand he had many wives, you know. So this is like a half sister. 2 Samuel chapter 13 verse 2. And Ammon was so vexed that he fell sick for his sister Tamar, for she was a virgin, and Ammon thought it hard for him to do anything to her. So he thought about such things before it took place, you know. And this may be somebody that may be on the lines of doing something they ain't got no business, or that's going to bring judgment to them, you know. You have a moment where you thought about such things, you know. A lot of men, before they deal with a woman, they think about it, you know. They're like, man, you know, she look good, but I don't know. Oh man, you know, what if she crazy? You know, man, what if my girl gonna find out? A lot of men, they think about such things, man, you know. Or could have been like trying to rob somebody, man. You know, when somebody in the world, I don't know, man. You know, what if I get shot? You know, what if I miss? What if I hit somebody else? You know, what if they find me? You know, what if the feds, you know, trace back and know it's me? You know, so hey, the Lord gonna give you a chance to think about something before you do it, man. You know. For she was a virgin, and Amnon thought it hard for him to do anything to her. But Amnon had a friend, and it's always that friend, man. You know, that's why you got to keep your circle, like they say. That's why you got to make sure you got people around you that really don't have no respect to persons. Just because you got money. Hey, you got money, they might, they gonna go along with it. Yes. You know, or they gonna be the fanboy or whatever. You know, they gonna say what you want to hear. You need somebody around you that's gonna give you some correction. You know, that's gonna give you some righteous rebuke. You know, don't put nobody around you that's weak, effeminate. You know, if you're a man, if you're a woman, don't put no woman around you that's jealous of you. You know, they don't want to see you get the kingdom of heaven. You know, you got to put people around you that's going to help you grow, even if it's against, you know, your comfort. You know, that's too hard for me. Well, hey, you can do it. You know, you need to hear this. You know, well, hey, what if I fail? Well, hey, guess what? You know, a felon is growing. Hey, so you need to put people around you that's gonna help you. You know, 2 Samuel 13:3. But Amnon had a friend whose name was Jonadab, the son of Shimei, David's brother. And Jonadab was a very subtle man. And he said unto him, why art thou, being the king's son, lean from day to day? Wilt thou not tell me? So, hey, you can't tell everybody everything, man. You know, they're going to mess around and have you in a worse state than you was, you know. And Amnon said unto him, I love Tamar, my brother Absalom's sister. And Jonadab said unto him, lay thee down on thy bed and make thyself sick. So he telling him how to mess around and get himself jammed up, you know. So that spirit on him talking to the other spirit, and now a wicked lust is communicating with each other. And Jonadab said unto him, lay thee down on thy bed and make thyself sick. And when thy father cometh to see thee, say unto him, I pray thee, let my sister Tamar come and give me meat, and dress the meat in my sight, that I may see it and eat it at her hand. So he should have told him, hey, man, what the hell is wrong with you, man? You know, you need to go on a fast. You know, you wicked, man. You know, hey, he should have cut him up. Hey, if he was in the spirit, you know, hey, man, get this demon away from me, man. You know, he should have been cutting that spirit up, man. But instead, he was feeding it. He said, yeah, lay down. Yeah, fake like you sick. Yeah, hey, you the man. You the man. Hey, you got that, you know. Hey, I don't want no hype man around me. Hey, I need a righteous counselor, man. Don't bring no sorcery, no witchcraft, man. You know, 2 Samuel 13:6. So Amnon lay down and made himself sick. And when the king was come to see him, Amnon said unto the king, I pray thee, let Tamar my sister come and make me a couple of cakes in my sight, that I may eat at her hand. Then David sent home to Tamar, saying, go now to thy brother Amnon's house and dress him meat. So Tamar went to her brother Amnon's house, and he was laid down, and she took flour and knitted it, and made cakes in his sight, and did bake the cakes. So she was in a labor. You know, she was doing all this work. Verse 9, and she took a pan and poured them out before him, but he refused to eat. And Amnon said, have out all men from me. And they went out every man from him. And Amnon said unto Tamar, bring the meat into the chamber, that I may eat of thine hand. And Tamar took the cakes which she had made, and brought them into the chamber to Amnon her brother. Verse 11, and when she had brought them unto him to eat, he took hold of her, and said unto her, come lie with me, my sister. And she answered him, nay, my brother, do not force me, for no such thing ought to be done in Israel. Do not thou this folly. So she rebuking him. She getting on him. And whither shall I cause my shame to go? And as for thee, thou shalt be as one of the fools in Israel. So, hey, you can't be no fool in Israel, man. You know, now it was behind the closed doors, you know, and it wasn't a thing well known. But, hey, you can be known as a fool in your nation. Now, therefore, I pray thee, speak unto the king, for he will not withhold me from thee. Howbeit he would not hearken unto her voice, but being stronger than she, forced her and lay with her. So, hey, you know, he forced her, man. You know, ain't no telling what kind of strength or what kind of move or what kind of hold or grab he had or did. You know, on a spiritual level, this is not what you want to do. You know, don't get to the point where you about to force things. Then Amnon hated her exceedingly, so that the hatred wherewith he hated her was greater than the love wherewith he had loved her. And Amnon said unto her, arise, be gone. So that demon did what it did, and after the lust and after the wickedness took place, then like what we read earlier, you know, swept and garnished, you know, hey, that demon got up out of there, you know. So that happens time and time again on the earth, you know. But hey, you gotta stand up right, you know, and don't let these demons prevail over you. Let me get this in Ezekiel real quick. Matter of fact, Salaki, I'm gonna get this in Philippians. This is Philippians chapter 2, and I'm gonna start at verse 12, and it reads, "Wherefore, my beloved," Salaki, Philippians chapter 2, verse 12, and it reads, "Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed." So you gotta obey. You know, obedience is better than sacrifice. You know, if he had been obedient, you know, to the word, to the law, statutes, commandments, then there he wouldn't allow that woman to be a fool in the nation, you know, and he wouldn't have made himself a fool, you know. "Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling." So if it wouldn't have got to the point where, you know, if his brother would have rebuked him, then when he heard that woman, when he heard Tamar say, no, you know, do not this foolishness in Israel, you know, he should have took that correction, man. But yet, he let that demon control him. Now let me get this in Ezekiel chapter 14. This is Ezekiel chapter 14, and I'm gonna start at verse 14, and it reads, "Though these three men, Noah, Daniel, and Job, were in it," they was in the land, "they should deliver but their own souls by their righteousness, said the Lord. If I cause noisome beasts to pass through the land, and they spoil it so that it be desolate, that no man may pass through because of the beast." So like it, "Though these three men were in it, as I live, said the Lord God, they shall deliver neither sons nor daughters. They only shall be delivered, but the land shall be desolate. Or if I bring a sword upon that land, and say, sword go through the land, so that I cut off man and beast from it. Though these three men were in it, as I live, said the Lord God Most High, they shall deliver neither sons nor daughters, but they only shall be delivered themselves. Or if I send a pestilence into that land, and pour out my fury upon it in blood, to cut off from it man and beast, though Noah, Daniel, and Job were in it, as I live, said the Lord God, they shall deliver neither son nor daughter. They shall but deliver their own souls by their own righteousness. For thus said the Lord God, how much more when I send my four sword judgments upon Jerusalem, the sword and the famine and the noisome beast and the pestilence, to cut off from it man and beast. So, the Lord, he gonna send judgment. You may feel like you got away with such things, you know, and just like that man may feel like he was able to get away with such things, if it may have not been put out there by the wickedness that he's done with his sister, you know, on the same scale. You may feel like that your business ain't gonna get put out there, so you still, you okay, you know, but best believe the Lord is gonna send judgment on the earth, you know. Now let me you know, this is why it's important to repent. Let me, Lord willing, this will be the last precept. This is Sirach, so like not Sirach. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 8. And I'm gonna start at verse 12. Ecclesiastes 8 and 12, and it reads, though a sinner do evil 100 times, and his days be prolonged, yet surely I know that it shall be well with them that fear Most High God, which fear before him. But it shall not be well with the wicked, neither shall he prolong his days, which are as a shadow, because he feareth not before Most High God. So you got to fear the Lord, You have to fear the Lord. Verse 14, Ecclesiastes 8:14. There is a vanity which is done upon the earth, that there be just men unto whom it happened, according to the work of the wicked. Again, there be wicked men to whom it happened according to the work of the righteous. I said that this also is vanity. Then I commended mirth, because a man had no better thing under the sun than to eat and to drink and to be merry, for that shall abide with him of his labor the days of his life, which Most High giveth him under the sun. So that's it on that. But to the point, you want to be to the to the degree of, if something happens, you fall short, you gotta repent. You gotta go before the Most High. Apply Psalms chapter 32, verses 5 on down, Psalm 51, the whole chapter, Proverbs 28, Proverbs 29. You gotta apply and repent, and turn away from wickedness. Let me get this in Psalms chapter 1 real quick. Psalms chapter 1 and verse 1. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly. So, like we just read, if he would have took counsel, and the ungodly counsel wasn't to the degree that he should have stuck with, he should have walked away. So don't allow wickedness to overthrow and get you jammed up. Psalm chapter 1 verse 1. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standing in the way of sinners, nor sitting in the seat of the scornful, which scornful goes into mockers. So you want to have that spirit of, Salakia, walking in righteousness. Now let me get this. Lord willing, this was edifying to you. Don't count this as a light thing to do. All praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. This is Isaiah chapter 26, verse 3, and it reads, Thou will keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee, because he trusted in thee. So having faith, fearing the Lord, trusting and believing in the Lord, striving to keep the commandments and to uphold righteousness, the Lord is going to make sure you have peace. Not just any peace, but the peace of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Isaiah 26 and 4. Trust ye in the Lord forever, for in the Lord Yahweh is everlasting strength. And we know his name to be Yahweh, and it's not Jehovah, because no J or no English translation was the understanding of what our forefathers spoke and called the Most High's name. Verse 5, Isaiah 26 and 5. For he bringeth down them that dwell on high, the lofty city. He led it low. He led it low, even to the ground. He bringeth it even to the dust. The foot shall tread it down, even the feet of the poor and the steps of the needy. The way of the just is uprightness. Thou most upright doest weigh the path of the just. Yea, in the way of thy judgments, O Lord Yahweh, have we waited for thee. The desire of our soul is to thy name and to the remembrance of thee. So, there's judgments coming to the earth. There's judgments towards the nations. They're going to be blotted out and casted down. And they're going to be given to the Israelites as an inheritance that the Lord promised to Abraham and to Isaac and to Jacob. But before you get that, you got to cut these wicked demons down. And you got to take control, and glorify the Lord with your mind, with your eyes, and with your body. So Lord willing, this was edifying to you. Peace and blessings to you. Lord willing, your preparations for the Sabbath are mighty, and everything works out in a timely, righteously manner, and you can keep the Sabbath holy. Fisherman of Zion, peace and blessings to you. Shalom. Call like